Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous dance baby, and welcome to another episode of More Than Dance. Today, we are talking about how to build your dance wardrobe and how to select outfits for dance class. Now, you may want to tune in to the YouTube version of this podcast because I am going to be showing you some outfits. So let's first review why the outfit is so important. Now, you might remember in episode 34, we talked about dressing the part and why the costume matters. And hopefully you get a second to go listen to that because that's going to be very important. It's almost like a prerequisite episode to this episode. So right now, I'm expecting for you to know everything that I discussed in that episode because that is the reason why we're going to take such care while we pick out our outfits. It's important to know that when you're building your wardrobe, it doesn't happen overnight. And I've been building my dance wardrobe for so many years now, and I still sometimes feel like, oh, I don't know if I have something that fits that theme. And we are a unique studio, as I'm sure you know, where we have themes all the time, and we're always celebrating our outfits and celebrating our bodies through our outfits. And one of the reasons is because it heightens our danceability. It makes us feel as though our outfit is to the level, so we're gonna dance to that level. And I know that when you're starting out as a brand new dancer, it can be very hard to even construct an outfit or how to make something look cute. So I'm going to show you a couple of staples, and some of these, I mean, you can shop on Amazon, Shein, Fashion Nova, TJ Maxx. If there are stripper stores around your neighborhood, you can get outfits there. But let's start with like a very basic thing. So I'm going to show you these. These are my favorite shorts. I got these at Forever 21. These are dolphin shorts. Now you can search by dolphin shorts when you find these. What I like about these is the thick waistband, the drawstring. I like the cut on the sides. I like them for just a standard swerve class, which is like our hip hop, jazz, funk class. I like them for our twerk shops because we want to, when we're twerking, to always let the booty jiggle. We don't want to constrict it. So that's why spandex are just like a no-go for any type of class where you're moving your ass. So dolphin shorts, you can search by them. You can get any color, really. Black is always good to have as like a base if you're going to do like a colored top, or you can go with the gray, which is nice. You can wear black with this and any color with this. And then when we think about a top, you're going to go by what makes you feel like you're in your sweet spot. Now, we talked about this in episode 16, all about your comfort zone and how to find your sweet spot and how to stay out of the survival zone. And it's the same with outfits. So when you're picking your outfit, there is a part of you that you want to feel like, ooh, this is a little reach for your comfort zone. And you also don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm so scared I'm in this outfit. I cannot believe that I'm doing this. And then because that's going to take away from your dancing and it's not going to end up being a good situation. So you want a little bit of risk, but a little bit of safety. And that's the sweet spot. So with tops, you can go with a crop top. You can go with a full tank top. It depends on how you feel about how much skin you want to reveal. So all of this stuff is on my Amazon thing too. So if you want to find my Amazon store, just follow the link below. So this is just like a standard bra. I think I have this in every single color, but it's nice. It's a little bit supportive, so I could double up with this. I'll show you all about doubling up in a second. This one is really nice for being able to wear for like a class that doesn't have a deep theme or a class that's like more of a technique class, or I often wear these to the gym as well. You could also layer this. In my Island Vibes class, I usually wear like a little top underneath this one, and then there's layers of clothes. So that's actually going to be a big technique for you to take home, is knowing how to make layers and make outfits based off of your layers. So I just showed you these dolphin shorts and I showed you this bra top. Now envision this with fishnets underneath these, and now maybe a black little bralette. It's a completely different outfit. It's a completely different vibe. You can also take your fishnets and put them underneath jean shorts and then do a little bralette or a bra top. So let's talk about bottoms other than shorts. So there are these bottoms that are very similar to like bathing suit bottoms that you can purchase. You can actually just get bathing suit bottoms. But if you go on Amazon, you'll find different types of bottoms. You can look up dancer bottoms. And it's nice to have different colors, and it's nice to have more than one pair of each because they're so versatile, and you can put these under things, you can put them over things. Definitely have like the standard colors, the tan for when you want things to look nude, and then the white for when things are like cute and pink. You might want to match this with white instead of black so it's not as harsh. And then of course black. I have a bunch of them in black. Now, imagine you're wearing one of these bottoms and then you pair it with a little bralette top. So it's always good to have something in animal print. So here's a little bralette top that you can put with your outfit. Now you can wear it like that, or you can put a pair of fishnets underneath it, or you can wear it without fishnets, wear this bottom piece, and then you could take a sheer long sleeve shirt and wear it over it. Or if you don't have a sheer long sleeve shirt, here's a fun little trick. You can take a pair of fishnets. So here are these fishnets. These ones are actually like styled, so they have like a stripe that goes down. You can take these, and what I did here was I cut out the crotch, and now if I wanted to, I could wear this as a shirt. So I could find my little it's tough because I have rings on. But now I gave myself a little bit of flavor with these fishnets. And these are the kind that don't have the foot of the fishnet. So it's almost like it was made for me to do this. But you can easily take that off and then make your own shirt, fishnet shirt, by doing it this way. I'm going to take this off after I do it. But you can imagine if I had like a little bralette underneath, how cute that could be. To just have like a little bit of varying textures and varying colors, and it can add a lot to your outfit. Now, I'm going to take this off. I can also wear these as regular fishnets too. So any type of fishnets. They have some that have like bows on the bottom butt, so they look like really cute. These ones, they have the stripes like you just saw. Then they have designed ones, like laced ones. And they have tight bodysuits as well. So if you look up fishnet bodysuit, you'll be able to find something that's the full length. And it could be really cute. Now, this next thing might be actually kind of shocking to you, but it will make a lot of sense. So this right here is actually a one-piece bathing suit. So it's got the bottoms. On the sides, it has little cutouts. And then the top, it's connected, and it has this little sheer piece. Now, I could put a pair of fishnets underneath here, or I could not. And then I could put this up, and it has enough security because it has two straps, one in the back and one around the neck. And I feel very secure when I wear this. And it shows a little cheek, and it's a full-on bathing suit. And it's actually kind of funny how bathing suits work out on the dance floor because we do sweat, so it absorbs some of that sweat. And then they're so fashionable now. You can make them so they really match themes or just what you're trying to emulate while you're dancing. So then we have little like bralette shirts. Now, this is funny. I got these at a stripper store, and I got them in every color. And they're so funny because I did every test imaginable to see if they were going to be secure enough. So when I tell you, well, first, let me introduce you to Ruby and Luby. So Ruby is the right boobie, Luby is the left boobie, and Ruby always wants to come out and play. So if anything's going to pop out, it's going to be Ruby. And it's just like a funny joke with myself and my students because this is why layers, circling back to layers, this is why layers are so important on the dance floor because you do want to be secure because the more secure you feel, the fuller your movements can be, and the less you'll feel like worried about something popping out. So I went through great depths to figure out if this was going to be appropriate for the dance floor. I was in the store, I was jumping up and down, I did burpees, I did a push-up, I did like a push-up, like, and I shaked things, and I kid you not, nothing fell out. My first class with this on popped out. And I'm sure you're looking at it and you're like, okay, well, that's obvious. So the quick fix for this, which now is a trend, is to wear two of the same shirt and have them kind of layered. So like you get a pop of the color that comes out underneath, or you could reverse it too. So if you have a theme one night that's like red and pink, well, that wouldn't be the theme, but let's say, why didn't I just choose these colors? Black and purple. I could have like an overload of purple, or I could have just like a little bit of purple by showing it from the inside. So these are going to come in handy. And again, these are the kind of tops that I was saying you could put underneath one of these bras. So I could have this kind of like popping through, and you can see that it ends up being like kind of cute and like really strappy and secure because that's what matters. And then there's different types of those. Like you can find ones like this where they have like embellishments on them, little sparkle. And then of course there's these, which there's a brand that you'll see. What's the name of it? I'm drawing a blank. It's funny because this was supposed to go like this, like around the edge like that, but I don't like straps like this. So I just cut it, and I cut it on the other side, and now I made a halter top, and now this is actually something that I'll wear and I would probably put one of these underneath it, or even just like a plain black bralette. I could put that under it. Sometimes I try to follow the neckline, and sometimes I try to keep it different because it's nice to have just varying things. Then we have stuff like this. So this is like a garter. So this is actually made for dancers, and you can look up things by like keywords. You can look up dancer outfits, you can look up pole dancer outfits, you can look up stripper outfits. And don't be shy about looking that up because it will show you exactly what you need, especially on Amazon. And these just go around the legs. Now, what that brings me to is the idea of the question that I always get, can I wear lingerie to dance? Yes, of course you can. So one thing to know about lingerie is it's not going to be full coverage, and there are going to be some see-through things. So it's just important to know how you're going to manage that. So for the see-through lingerie, I always double up on the bottoms. So I'll wear something like a sparkly Victoria's Secret underwear. This was like a really big trend like a couple of years ago where they'd have like little like sparkly sides in a bunch of different colors of the same kind of underwear. I'm not sure if they still have those, but if they do, those are really great. So you can snag a pair of those. That would have shined through really great with this like bathing suit because these have the sides open and the little diamonds would have shown right through, which would have been nice. So you can do that. And then you could put like a garter belt, like an actual lingerie garter belt from Victoria's Secret or from Amazon, or from, there's a brand called Thistle Inspire, which they have some like more higher end lingerie. Honeybird, that's another one if you feel like you want to invest a little bit more into your lingerie, which it's nice to do that because then you get a feeling of like what it really feels like to have like nice lingerie. And you can just look that up and find it that way. And they have really good size charts and they have a lot of different sizes, which is nice. So if you're thicker in the chest, like you can get full on like underwired bras that look very beautiful. And that's like a great strategy, like finding something that feels good and fits good and feels secure. And then to take that one thing and pair it with everything else. So for example, I have this one bra and they don't actually sell it anymore, but I could wear that with anything and everything. So if ever there was a night where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to wear, I could just put that one on or throw it in my bag and know that I would be able to mix match it with something else that I brought. Now, how do we put the outfits together? So one, at the studio, we have different themes. So for instance, tonight's theme is purple and black and arm things. Arm things is kind of like it could be gloves, it could be a sleeve, it could be a cuff, but it's just to add a little bit of something. Like think about like a costume on stage and like when all the girls are doing something with their arms, things just look so clean and in unison because you're seeing the fabric on their skin and it just looks beautiful. So that was kind of the idea behind this, and also because it's a very sultry, sexy song and it's just going to add this like different variability. Whenever I'm thinking about themes and costumes, I'm always thinking about adding in variability and matching, of course, the vibe. So at the studio, we don't currently announce the song. Well, we sometimes announce the song before we have the night. So a lot of times I have my students coming in completely blind with what song we're going to do. They can kind of get the gist of what's going on because it's like wear this and wear this, or wear black and white, and then it could go in any way. Last night we had wear socks with something that goes around your waist. So you can kind of pull in like, oh, okay, that vibe's going to be kind of like this. And it's really adding and building up a creative skill for you, because when you're able to build out your own costume and your own look, not only are you going to feel like so proud of yourself because you're like, whoa, I look cute, and whoa, that outfit, like, where'd that even come from? It gives you just another outlet for your creativity. And dance is already creative. And then when we add in our own personal styles within our outfits, it can get even more rewarding. So when you're thinking about, I think the vibe is going to be a little bit like this. First, rule of thumb is go for what feels secure. The second, always have a backup. Always. I even do this as a DJ. Like I will pack my outfit, the outfit that I think I'm going to wear, and I'll have a whole on backup or third backup option just in case, because you really never know. In fact, this past weekend, I used my backup outfit instead of my number one outfit. So make sure you feel secure, make sure you have a backup, and the backup could also be just a completely different option. So if you're feeling like, oh, I kind of want to wear pants, but I think I'm going to try this, and then you just get going and you realize you're so in your head and you're so thinking about your body and not the movement, change. And don't be afraid to change in the middle of class and just be like, okay, I got to just change this outfit. It's not working. And you'll soon find that you won't have to do that so often because you'll know yourself so much. And of course, sometimes when you're trying a new outfit on for the first time in dance, it might be like shocking, like, wow, I thought this was going to work and it didn't. And because you have that backup, you're able to replace it and still feel good in the class. The next is to understand like if you're a sweater. So if you're a sweater, you might want to save part of your outfit for the end, because when you get sweaty, especially if it's like a pink color or a white color, you might end up showing a little bit more than you want to show. And it might get dirtier faster because now it's wet and it's picking up like stuff from your shoes. So be mindful of that. And always, I mean, this is just like a given. It doesn't really have to do with your costume, but always bring a towel for yourself if you are a sweater, just because it's going to be helpful for your floor underneath your feet as safety. And then also if there's any other dancers that will be dancing in your space. So secure, have a backup, be mindful of your sweat. The fourth is to have fun and to just like experiment. And because you have your backup, you'll feel more comfortable experimenting. Step 5 is to make sure that you're prioritizing movement. So we want to always make sure that movement is our biggest priority, because that's what we're going to do. There are so many outfits that are so cute that I wish I could wear to dance, and I just know that they won't work. There's no way that they'll work. I would have to maybe completely alter it for it to work and to feel secure. And what I mean by that is secure enough for me to dance my fullest. So you might test, you might do exactly what I did, although it didn't really help that much. And this is why we always go back to step 2, which is to have your backup. Step 6 is to match the mood. And this is another reason why it's important to have your backup, because if you come into the class and you're ready to be so sexy and the vibe is actually giving a little bit more jazz funk, you have your backup pair of sweatpants in your duffel bag, or you have a pair of those dolphin shorts that you can just slip on and you'll feel a little bit better, and the movement might be a little bit more fluid because the material on your body is more fluid. I know I mentioned this one time when I was talking about one of my swerve classes, how I was like wearing spandex shorts because like that's what I was wearing, but I was like, oh man, I wish I was really wearing sweatpants to this class. And I actually didn't mention that, but these sweatpants that I'm wearing right now, these are some of the sweatpants that I would wear in class. And I know a lot of my students have these sweatpants, but they're like joggers and they feel really good in terms of movement. And sweatpants is also just a great staple to have, a pair of nice baggy black sweatpants. The next, we talked about this is like checking your vibe. So are you feeling confident in your outfit? And this is where you get to like kind of separate yourself, because there's a part of you that's going to feel so confident in a t-shirt and leggings. Awesome. And you can wear that, obviously. You can totally wear, you don't have to wear any of this stuff. You can come to class wearing that, and that's amazing. This is for the person who wants to delve into building their dance outfits and their dance closet and really wants to get into this as like part of the experience. And when we feel like we're comfortable in our shorts and our t-shirt, is that one gonna give you the vibe that you want to get out of class? And 2, are you challenging yourself enough in your sweet spot zone? So that's where this step is really going to take you back to that question. And you do want to challenge yourself a little bit, because that's where the growth happens. And that's where we know it to happen. And then you might notice like, oh, wow, like I look hotter in that than I thought I would. And now you're able to bring more confidence to yourself because you put on an outfit. You also might notice that you dance better in certain outfits because, again, going back to episode 34, you're stepping up to the plate. You're like, oh, wow, I look damn good. Let me dance with more articulation. Let me dance fuller. And therefore, you danced better. So now when you watch your playback, you're like, whoa, I looked good. You might think it's the outfit, but really it's the whole connection to yourself and the outfit. The next, we talked about this, is to layer smart. So again, always going back to being secure. Start with something that feels secure and then layer on top of it. You can do layers with bralettes and long sleeves. You can do it with shorts and fishnets. You can do it with, even like sometimes I've worn like 2 pairs of shorts, like one with like cutout and then a pair over it, just to have layers. And there's just such great things you can do with layers. You can make 3 outfits out of the same outfit, basically. The next is to accessorize with intention. And you might want to stay away from a lot of accessories in dance, specifically beaded bracelets. We try not to allow those at the studio just because they can break and then the beads are everywhere and we're wearing heels and it's just like, uh-oh. So with accessories, like you can do stuff with your earrings. I know sometimes we'll have like everyone wear hoops and it will just like bring this like kind of cool, kind of like street look to our vibe. Or sometimes we'll be elegant and everyone will wear like beautiful like dangly earrings with their hair up. and it gives off different vibes, different moods. Another thing that's fun is like socks with like little frills, or like what I mentioned earlier, like tonight we're wrapping our arms up. So you can have a lot of fun with accessories and also be smart about what you choose. The next is your footwear. So of course we always wear like our black heels, and you can have those in different colors. So for certain nights, like I know I mentioned these like white little kind of like bathing suit bottom type things. When I'm wearing lighter colors, sometimes I'll wear my tan heels or my white heels, and it will just complement the outfit a little bit better. The next is to, just as you are having a backup with your clothes, you might also want to carry some safety pins and have like a little kit in your bag that will allow you to fix something that you really like. Like the other day I brought pliers with me, and it's because I had a chain and I was like anticipating that potentially it would break, and I would have my pliers there to just like be able to bend the metal back and to put my chain back on. It did break and also it broke from the cloth, not from the wire. So it didn't help to have pliers, but I have used those in the past. And obviously the last thing is to have fun, channel an alter ego perhaps, get involved with the mood of the song. Remember that the clothes are allowing you to be a character. So sometimes it can be really scary to get into dance class and to just be so vulnerable. And if you're in a different outfit, you might be able to channel an alter ego of yours, and it might help you cross through a threshold that you built for yourself. So for example, we have a student named Liza at the studio, and when she's in her alter ego, she's Elizabeth. So what Liza might do with a routine is different than potentially what Elizabeth might do. So Elizabeth might wear something a little bit more risque to class, where Liza might be a little bit more held back. So if she were to channel Elizabeth, I know she's laughing right now. If she were to channel Elizabeth when she's getting dressed and at the beginning of class, she might find that she'll dance differently than she would, because she's giving herself permission to use this alter ego in her favor. So when you're having fun, also think about limiting your stress about it, because it can feel very stressful. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to wear. Just remember that building your dance wardrobe takes time. It takes years, and little pieces can combine with little pieces, and they really are like little pieces. Like these things in a closet also, that might be helpful for you to know. The way that I organize these, I put them in little bins so that all the like things go in certain parts, and all the colored things for certain things will be like in the colored bins. And it just helps me find my things quicker. So for instance, tonight, purple and black, I went to my black pile, I went to my purple pile, I knew where all my things were, and I picked out the outfits. I also have my backups already packed, and I have, oh my goodness, so glad I remembered this. So this is going to be your safety. So this is actually gaffing tape. Another reason why being a DJ and a dance teacher are so like overlapped and related. So this is gaffing tape. The kind that I have at the studio is Gorilla Tape, and you'll be surprised what we do with this. So let's say that I'm wearing one of those tops that I showed you. I'll take out a piece of this. You can get gaffing tape too. It's just more expensive than Gorilla Tape. So this is the special tape that we use to tape our cords down on the floor without ripping up any part of the floor or ripping up any of the paint. So it's a special tape. And it also works really well for nipples. So what we do is you get a little piece like this, and I actually prefer the Gorilla Tape more than this, but this one's fine too. So you can make little X marks on your nips. You can make them thicker if you want to. I remember for Unholy, I made a cross, but this could add you extra security so that you're able to, maybe if Ruby or Luby does pop out, you're able to have them safely secured and blocked so that it might not be that bad of a thing. And as you just saw, like these come off very gently on the nipple so that you also don't have to waste your time finding those petals or whatever they are, because those hurt coming off. This actually doesn't. So it's like a really fun hack. So that's gaffing tape, but I definitely recommend Gorilla Tape, which I have that at the studio. It kind of looks like more glossy than this, and it rips a little bit better, and I just like it more. So yeah, have fun, enjoy building your costume wardrobe. Know that it takes time, remember your layers, and always go for security over the look because you are going to dance better that way. And if you have any questions, obviously message me. I'm going to be updating my Amazon store so that you can see some of these selections. And hopefully now you've used this curated list of keywords like bathing suit bottoms or strappy tops, and you can kind of search that way for what you need. But yeah, have fun with it and try different colors too. You don't always, a lot of this stuff is black. Tried to bring in some color just to show you that colors can be really fun, and you can layer like different pinks together or different shades of pinks together and make for some really cool outfits. So have so much fun. Let me know if you have any questions. And if this was helpful for you, please share it with one of your dance friends so that you both can get on the dance floor looking fly. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the dance floor.